Right. Hello, Rosie.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well. Very happy to be here with you today.
Thank you so much for being here today. Oh, my God. Okay, let me just introduce myself. Okay, so first of all, I just want to let everyone know that we're actually live on 2 different platforms. And this is the first time I've ever gone live like this, in this way. So if there's a little bit of, whatever, technical issues or whatever, we're here, we're doing our best, we're here, but we're showing up today. Yeah, so, this is new. It's called StreamYard, and we're live. Me and Rosie on here. We were going to do a podcast interview, but I decided to come in live and give it to you in a whole other spin. It will go on my podcast, but I thought it'd be quite good to bring it live to you in here and, just bring it full live, no filter, totally authentic, and, bring it all raw and real to you, the whole conversation. No edits, no deletes. Okay, so I'll introduce myself first, Rosie. My name is Rechelle Mackay. I'm a spiritual, intuitive, and leading confidence coach. I've had a lot of changes in my, who I am, and I bring it to you today with a little bit of, a lot more clarity, I should say. I'm here with so much more clarity today than I ever have been, thanks to my beautiful coach, Rosie. Rosie's actually my amazing coach I've been working with currently for the last 4 weeks. And we're on a journey together for 4 months. I have locked it in with Rosie. And I can honestly say in these last 4 weeks, I've just taken so many different steps in my business, and I'm really finding out who I really am and what I'm here to do. And she's really helped me just to discover and bring to the light all of me, which I've hidden down a lot of parts. And we're on this journey together. So that's why the beautiful Rosie's here too. Her work is just amazing. So I'll put it over to you now, Rosie, if you can introduce yourself.
Sure, thanks, honey. So happy to be here with you. I mean, this was a really sudden turn. We were like, we're going to do a podcast, and like, let's just go online and just show up as we are. So for your audience, for those who don't know me, I'm actually a transformational leadership and master coach. I do also business strategy, and I work with women, mostly business owners and leaders, to really help them reclaim their wholeness and step into their next level success. And so that's basically the work I do. And the majority of success and what success means to us comes from who we really are and how we need to show up online, how we need to show up to our clients and in the world. And so the work that I do is both the strategy is there, but it's the foundation is around transformation. So it's the inner work. And from the inner work, this strategy is easy. We're able to show up, we're able to do lives, we're able to do all the things that we need to do to take our business, our life, whatever we need to the next level, to get to that next level of success. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. And obviously, we're going to tap right into it. So if you hear, I can see there's actually 3 amazing people on here. Please say hello in the comments. Can you see the comments, Rosie?
No, I can't from my side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can see the comments, so please feel free to comment and say hello, say your name, tell us where you're from. We'll hopefully get to the questions, but I really want to crunch deep with Rosie today. But yeah, everything you just said, Rosie, thank you so much. And shall we dive in?
Pleasure. Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so with this podcast, what I was going to do today, this is, as I just said, we only just made this decision this morning to come on StreamYard because I thought it'd just be so good to bring it really authentically to the audience and to people to listen to with no filter. But as I'm sitting here in the last hour, I've really thought about, why have I brought Rosie on here? Yes, I've got my questions that are, I really want my fans and not fans, or clients, just say fans, like my followers, people that are into the work that I do. I've created questions around blockages and stuff that I feel that most of the people that I'm connected with are struggling with. But as I'm listening to you, Rosie, I just felt then really strongly, because being an intuitive, I go with flow and I like to listen to what my body tells me. And I just really heard really strongly that if there's women that are listening to this call now, or you continue to watch it, or you watch it later on, if you're wanting to really step forward into a business, start a new career, make that massive change in your life, I really believe that these questions and the way Rosie's going to answer these will really help you to step into that. So that's what I just got them really strongly. You know, these questions can be for every walk of life. People that are in business, people that want to start a business, people that are scared to start a business, people that their business isn't doing well, whatever it is. But I just really feel strongly, Rosie, if we can really aim it into the ones that they're just not stepping into it because these questions I'm going to ask you are stopping them, blocking them.
Okay.
That's what I just got then. Yeah. So shall we just jump straight in? Let's go. Okay. So I've got a series of questions I'm going to be asking on this show today. My podcast, and all people listening live or going to go back and watch it. Keeping it really real. All right. So the first question is one of my favourite questions to ask people because it touches me to my core because I was so, I apologise for everything. I said sorry to everybody for who I am and what I did. And if you know me personally, you'll know that I always say sorry. I've had a lot of people in my life tell me, stop saying sorry, Rechelle. So this question really taps me into the core. And I know, Rosie, you're going to answer this just amazingly. So, Rosie, how do you, you know, in your business and the people you've worked with in your business life, live unapologetically in your own terms and giving no fucks? I do say that word, everyone knows. I do like to throw the curse words around, but I just want to be careful on life. But yeah, how do you not care and, you know, not apologise to people of who you are and what you do and what you're here to do, and stop that block from blocking you?
Yeah. So this is a really beautiful and big question because when we say, how do you be you? How do you be you? Because that's essentially the question is, how do you live unapologetically in your own life, right? And not give a fuck. It's through being you. It's being you. And that is it's the most simplest yet the most hardest or challenging things that we need to be, because we're showing up and many of us are showing up thinking that we need to be anybody other than ourselves because we're worried about what people think of us. There's a lot of blocks that come around it. And so for me personally, and what I take my clients through is my own formula. Show up as ourselves requires self-love. So I am enough. Because when we don't believe we're enough, we can't convince our clients we're enough. We can't, we're trying to bend over backwards, trying to prove that we're enough. We're going over and beyond, working super hard to show that. Okay, so there's that. There's self-worth. I am worthy. And when we have a lack of worth, we're going to sabotage our success because deep down, we're not going to feel like we deserve it, right? So really knowing our deep sense of worth and sitting in the acknowledgement of our worth, because then we don't need to be anybody other than us. And then there's self-trust. So the self-trust in, I trust my decisions. I trust in everything that I'm doing. I'm not looking outside of myself for the answers, right? And when we don't have that self-trust, we look outside of ourselves for answers. We mistake it for lack of clarity. And then we struggle to make the decisions that we need in our businesses. And this is where we ignore our intuition. We're not listening to what we really need to be doing because we've got those blocks that are up there. And then finally, there's the self-belief. So that belief that I can do this. I believe in my work. I believe in the transformation that I provide for my clients. I believe that what I have is not like no other, and that people will change their life as a result of this. So it's very based around, I can do this. And when we have a lack of self-belief, we're going to let the negative beliefs win. And that's going to prevent us from even taking action. It's going to prevent us from even going into the next level of our leadership, of our success that we know we need to be doing, and yet we're holding ourselves back. So even if, and there are probably some of us who have reached a level of success, but they haven't been able to go past that. This is essentially the fundamentals that we need to look at. And so you can apply this to any area of your life. Literally what I'm giving you, it affects everything. And we can have a combination of these things. Any combination of them will bring us success. But if you have all four, that's when you're really elevated into your next level. Okay. And the beauty is to be unapologetically us. These are really the core foundations to become us. we're already born with these things inside of us. That's the best news, because we've already got this. And then life experiences are what dim them down, are what block them off, are what shut them down, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at a baby, or if you look at children, they have no fear. They have no self-doubt. They don't worry about what others think of them, or what if I fail. They are built on self-trust. So you were born with all of these things, and then things have happened through your life that's blocked them. Right?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And we've just got to unlock them again, because the moment we do, and you come back to who you are, the truth of who you really are, honey, there's like, success is rapid. So, yeah.
So maybe just on that bit there, because that was intensive. So the tools that you would use working with someone, because I'll speak personally here. So just a little bit, touch a bit on myself, is I've always struggled with self-belief, even though I'm a confident person. I'm a confident person, confident in a lot of areas, but when I've needed to make change, and it wasn't a complete natural flow, or what would I say, a natural, it was something different that I was doing. I was creating something different, and then I had to step into that. You've got to really step into your self-belief. So for someone that is, you know, because I keep talking about someone that's starting a business, for some reason it just keeps coming through me. Someone that wants to change their careers and they want to start a business, right? Or their business just ain't working. What tools would you use with them with these things around self-belief, Rosie? Like what's the things that's going to help them? Like maybe, I don't know, whatever you think to mention about. Because I know people say to me, oh, it's all good and well to say you've got to have a self-belief, we've got to be this.
Yes.
Right? You know, you hear that a lot. It's all good and well. But how do we change that part of ourselves to believe in ourselves?
Well, that's right. So this is really about turning our self-doubt into our greatest power, right? And So there's three things, because obviously we're not going to take the steps if we don't have the self-belief, we don't believe in ourselves. And this is huge. And this is not just for starters, this is for everybody. Like if we lack that, we're not going to be able to move into that. So there's authenticity. So the ability to be unapologetically who we really are, right? That's the very first thing. So it's like when you come to that point of I am enough, and in my enoughness, I don't need to be more, do more. Who I am is we're inherently worthy. So it's really coming to knowing that about ourselves first. So it's not being who you think you should be. And this is also linked to the self-worth. So your enoughness. The more authentic you are, the more you step into your true self, the more belief that you will have around what you do and within yourself, because you know already that you are enough. So there's nothing more that you need to add or do or fix or change, because you're not broken. Nothing needs to be literally, you do not need fixing. Your perspective just needs to shift in who you really are. So that's the very first thing, is coming to our authenticity, like who we really are. Then the alignment in multiple areas. So aligning our conscious and our subconscious mind, because if there's conflicting beliefs, like you say, so we're talking to starter-ups, we might have someone that says, I want to do this, or I want to take this step in my business, right? And they've got that, but on the subconscious level, they're saying I can't, or I'm not enough, or whatever. There's a competing intention, right? And so we want to really find in, and it's not about forcing it. It's going, okay, so what is the block there? Because that's the block that's coming up. What is it trying to show us? So it's almost like I don't believe I can do it. Like I want to do this, but there's a competing intention. What's the unconscious payoff, right? What do you believe you'll get by having these thoughts? So what is that? So it's really questioning the beliefs that come up around that's stopping you from taking the steps. So there's a deeper positive intention, and we just need to go deeper. So it's the conscious, and then there's the subconscious mind, the conflicting beliefs that create that stuck feeling. Okay, so we need to we go to the root rather than unravel or trim the top of the grass. We're going to the root. And it's about going, okay, so what is it about you around the self-belief? It's questioning the essential misunderstanding that you're not enough, that you need to be more, or need to be anything other than you. It's questioning that and taking your power back, okay? And then there's the alignment of our mind, our heart, and our soul. So there's an alignment between our thoughts and our feelings and our soul purpose. So self-belief is really built around your deeper why, your deeper positive, your why are you even here? What is your purpose? So the reason why you even want to have a business or even start a business, because honestly, Rechelle, having our own businesses is the highest form of self-development work we could ever do, right? It's seriously, it brings up everything.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
So why do you even want to have that business? It's knowing your deeper purpose and coming back into the truth of what you know. Like, so for me, it's about serving from the highest expression of my truth. And I want really, my mission here is to help people know the perfection of who and what they are, so that they can rise and they can make a difference in their lives. And I think when you are embedded in your deep purpose, in your North Star, your why, then you get out of your own way and you're like, I know what I'm here for. This is my mission. My soul has made a vow and I need to honor that. And it's honoring that every step of the way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's the alignment in that. And then any conflict that's in the way, that's going to really block you from your full potential. And so this is us being energetically aligned with our businesses, energetically aligned with what we're creating, and also, and you know very well about this because you're a spiritual coach, it's not denying our spiritual side, because our spiritual side, that side of us, our intuitive side, is a key part of our calling, our purpose, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. And then there's the authority of having the confidence to claim your space, having the confidence to say, I know what I'm about, I know my worth, and establishing yourself as a leading authority in your field. So this is where we use positioning, branding, business mastery, all of those sorts of things. But outside of that, we cannot skip the inner work, because so many people skip the inner work. They're like, I want to have a startup business. I want to do my business. And then they go into the strategy, right? And we're starting on shaky foundations. And then they wonder why there's no success that comes to them.
Yep. Yeah.
So we've got to do the inner work. And that's where the belief, our self-belief comes from. When we remove the blocks that are in the way, self-belief is a natural kind of result of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So what about someone, before I get lost in the mix of it, what about someone that is, because I always like to talk to a problem. So when someone is like, they don't know what to do. They don't know, you hear that a lot. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I don't know what my purpose is. So given all that, what's the starting?
How do we
get so that's a big one.
Really big one, because everyone's like,
I knew what I wanted. Mine was more stepping into making the jump, doing the jump, making the change. But there is a lot of people that don't really know their purpose and what they're meant to be here to do. But then they know there's something more for them. They do know that in their heart.
Yeah.
And so like you say, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd love to speak to that, because that's a really big one. And I think that's the very first step to establish the firm foundations of what we're about. The very simplest way is to get out a journal and to write everything that lights you up. So whatever lights you up and brings you joy, just make a list of everything that lights you up. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not the very things that light you up. That's not your purpose, but starting there to know what is everything that brings me joy, what is everything that lights me up, and then what do I value? So what do these things give me? Because it's never the things, it's how we feel. It's what they give us, the feeling that they invoke within us, right? And from there, we're able to craft our values. So really coming back to the core of what is it that you value? What are your values? So for me, mine are growth, truth, freedom, connection, and service. And so because I know my values so well, and I've got that, and I have it there right in front of me to see it, I bring that into my business to say, okay, so these are the things I value. I love growth, so I never stop learning, and I'm also growing, and I'm teaching my clients, and they're growing, right? Service, I'm all about. We have a generosity, like Happiness Lifestyle is a generosity-based a business, so we give back. We're able to do that. Truth. I'm all about truth. So everything that I do is centered around that. So I'm bringing my values into my business, and knowing that is helping me define my purpose. So start there. You don't have to know your purpose. It's about knowing what lights you up, what brings you joy, then defining what you value. What is it that you actually value in your life? And if you can get it down to 5 or 6, and then you live in alignment with them, anything else around you, so any opportunities, anything that comes in your life or your radar that is not in alignment with your values is an easy no, right? And then for your actual purpose, it's almost like, so I think it was Elizabeth Gilbert, I'm pretty sure it was her. She says, she wrote the book Big Magic, and she says in there,
I love that book.
It's all about being in our purpose, right? She says in there, there's so much pressure trying to find our purpose, right? Forget about your purpose, follow your curiosity, and that just brings you to your purpose.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Very curious, but actually, it's funny you say that, Rosie. Curiosity for me has been one of my drivers. I've always been a curious person, so I think that's what made the path. Yes, I love that.
Yeah, and then
hang on. So with the curiosity, so when she shares about that, she says, "Follow your curiosity." What is she really saying? Elizabeth Gilbert.
Whatever's a spark, go down that. So I think us women think that we need to have it all together, and we can only be one way. We have to stick to that thing, and if it means we change anything or do anything outside of that means we've made it mean whatever we've made it mean about us means we've failed or anything like that. And it doesn't mean that. Curiosity is like, what lights you up? What brings you joy? What sparks a fire in you? And follow that. Does that mean that you will always have to be that because you followed it? No, it can change. We're spiritual beings, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Having a human experience. So we can, it's about following that, and it can change. So it's honoring our dreams, that they can evolve. Your vision, the things that you love, you don't always, it's not a to-do list. Our dreams can change. What we wanted a year ago, we may not want anymore. So it's about following that and going, you know what, this isn't lighting me up anymore. I'm not going to go with that. This is what makes me feel expansive and light. I'm going to follow that, And it's like life becomes your playground that you get to dabble and play in. As long as ego's not in the way, we've just got to
one of my values is fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And connection. I worked in my values with you, Rosie. Remember, that was one of our first sessions, I think. Yeah, it's funny but do you think too with values? And I know we've sort of answered 3 questions anyway. Do you think with not that it matters? Sorry, I shouldn't say that. With values, do you think we change and grow with values? Like, do you think as life moves around, like, does our values
ever change?
Or is there business values? And actually, I'm going to touch on that. So that's just kind of it. And so is there business values and personal values? Because, or is our values across the board? Because you're really good at this.
Yeah. So it is across the board, because you know what you've got. So it's an inner. So this is what we define as our internal values, right, versus external. So the internal values.
Sorry, Joe. Yeah. Someone goes, well, I feel like we're talking to somebody. Sorry.
Nice.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah. So our internal values are like, that's our anchor. And this is in everything that we do. So you apply it in your business, in everything, right? So there's a difference between our internal values, which is like truth, growth, love, peace. They could be things we value, okay? Versus external. So external values might be, let's say that connection is a value.
Yep.
It's really aligning with the internal, because if we value connection, how this can leak external is that we're trying to seek it from outside of us. And if we seek it outside of us, right, that's what we're trying to get validation, or we're trying to get some kind of need met when we seek it outside of us. And so this is really aligning with you giving yourself those the things that you value. So you're valuing connection. How can you be more connected within yourself, with the earth, with other people? That's you. So it's you not getting it, right? If you value freedom, how can you set up your business in a way that is aligned with freedom? So for me, I value freedom. That means, I lived in Spain for 3 months this year, and I took my business with me. So my business is set up to be, I'm really aligned with freedom because that's something I value, right? Financial freedom, all freedom, right? But I bring freedom into what I'm doing. So I'm not looking for it outside of me. It's coming from inside, and then I'm applying it to everything. And life becomes so much more enriching and fulfilling from that place. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Wow. What's that lots on today? The three ladies, whoever you are. All right, we're going to jump to this is actually one of my favorite questions because it's helped me so much in my own personal life, and it's all about intuition. So I might tap into a few things, like as in, because I hear all the time people saying, how do you know it's your intuition? And if you can just maybe touch on your answers here. How do you know it's your intuition? How do you listen? Because I don't believe we just need to listen. That's a choice. How do you know that it is your intuition? And so basically the question is, what is intuition to you, and what's your number one tip for using your intuition, Rosie? If you would have, but then I want to dig a little bit deeper on someone that struggles with knowing that is the intuition. Is that their mind, or is that their gut instinct, or whatever you want to call it, their intuition? And for someone that isn't really got that strong intuitive self, because they haven't worked on that part of themselves. We have all these different bodies, right? Emotional body, mental body. I think we went through that process here with you. So you give the answer, Rosie. It's about your answers. Yep, go for it.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So this is a really beautiful question.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's a beautiful one.
It is. And you know what? This is the beauty, because you know how I said before, intuition is actually one of the drivers in success. It is. So we really need it. So intuition is expansive. It's soul connected, and we all have it. Okay. So first of all, it communicates through your body. It communicates through your emotions, through your energy, but it comes with a gut knowing. So it's a solid knowing. So whoever's listening out there, it's just tap into a question here. Have you had the experience where you just know? You can't rationalize it. You just know. You just have this knowing of something about to happen, and it does. So it's that space of knowing, right? And then there's a certainty to it. And it might be scary or whatever, but you just know that this is something you need to do or say, or whether this is right for you, or this is where you need to be. And it's that solid feeling, right? And you you know this. So you don't hear it in here. So then what we do is we hear it, or we hear it. There's different ways to access it, but then we overthink it. Okay. So that's where the block comes in. And so this is how you determine what is what.
Sorry.
It's a big question, so I'm just trying to navigate. But we're so conditioned to look outside of ourselves for the answers, right? If we ask the right questions, we can really hear our own wisdom. And so us, as especially high achieving women, especially as people who are all about leadership, all about success, all about needing to be, that the high achievers, we tend to rely a lot, and I'm one of those. I'm a type A personality. We rely a lot on our mind-based knowing, and that's one way of knowing. But if we're only relying on that, we're limited. We're not ahead. We're our bodies. Okay, so our body is constantly communicating to us, constantly, and I work with so many women who are living like this. And when I ask them, how do you feel about that? They don't even know. Where does it sit in your body? They don't know, because we're so disconnected from it. Yeah. Okay. So there's it's the knowing of the gut, and this is how you'll know. Okay. So there's two different energies, two different forms of guidance that you can access. So we have their mind guidance, which I spoke about just before. That's helpful, that's practical, that's logical. It helps us make decisions.
Love that.
Great. It's a tool. It's not in charge. We need to make this an instrument of the heart or of our gut. Okay. We've got like 3 brains. We're not just a head. We've got like.
Oh, yeah. I love the 3 brain thing. Yeah, you can probably share a little bit about that too. You've told
exactly.
me.
Yeah. So our mind is the creativity center, really. This is where we actually is the practical, the logical. Okay. The heart is the courage, is the place of compassion and courage. That's the second brain, really following that, really listening to the insights that your heart is telling you. There is a thing, what is it? The California Heart Math Institute have found, and research is actually catching up to what I'm saying here. There's scientific proof that there is an intelligence in the heart that is prior to the brain. And this is like 5,000 times more magnetic than what's going on here. So there's science is actually.
Yeah, I believe that. I do believe that, but I've never heard that abbreviation. That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's
intelligence in your heart.
Exactly, and it's prior to the brain, and there's 5,000 times more magnetic field than it is in the brain. So we can see that's science catching up to that. Okay, and then the third gut, the third knowing is the gut. This is the place of the action. So many of us in our businesses, many of us in our lives are taking place or action from here. But our place of action where we need to have is in the gut. So if the go can't be from here, this is feeling what we're doing, the gut knowing, okay? So that's where the gut comes through. That's the 3 brains that we need to get mastery over. And so the gut, this is how you'll know the intuition. Your mind will be contracting, heavy. That's the small, the tight, that kind of feeling. That's not intuition. The intuition, how you know it's your intuition speaking, is the light, the expansive, and you know this because you've experienced a lot of it. It's like, oh my God, I'm on fire. Oh my God, my intuition, right? So,
yeah. But no, explain this. This is really good. I love how this is great.
And so the deeper guidance, the deeper level of our gut knowing, our intuition, the guidance that we can access is through slowing down. It's through stillness. We access it through coming into our bodies, through space, because we're not our head, we're our bodies, and really tapping into that. And it's through the stillness, and we can do breath work to really help us hear the gut, because the gut brain is probably the hardest that we can access, right? It's really the intuition, and we need to kind of strengthen that muscle. But through breath work, through different practices, we can really drop in. There's many different tools that we can use to start.
Maybe just give a couple of tips on which ones you do the best.
Cool. Yeah. So there is, I don't know if there's a book, what's it called? The Artist Way. So The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. She talks about writing, so conscious stream writing. So when you wake up in the morning, you grab a book and then you just start riffing. You just write. So you might be like, I don't want to clean the curtains today, or I don't want to do this today, or this is this, and you clear the cobwebs of your brain, right? And then eventually, so you just clear that first, and eventually you'll feel, as you keep writing, you might actually preface the writing with, I call the highest expression of myself to speak through me. You'll call in your guides, your spirit guides to speak through you. And then you just start writing. Just write whatever's coming through, whatever's on your mind, get it down on paper, get rid of it, clear the cobwebs of your mind. And then you'll start noticing, you can ask questions. You'll notice your higher self or some other guidance coming through while you're writing, right? And you'll be like, oh, look I can't believe that's even speaking. So that's one form. You can do it through writing, through journaling. That's a really powerful form. There's meditation, so just really getting still, having really beautiful stillness practices. There is the breath work. So there's one way to do, you can go into the whole breath work thing to clear trauma and to really help us access our higher guidance. But there's a simple way to do it where you breathe in for the count of 6, and then you breathe out, like audibly, say it out for the count of 6, right? And then you do that for about 3 to 4 minutes. And what that does is it resets the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. and you're able to drop your entire breath into the gut, and then you can ask questions and you'll hear insight and wisdom that comes through for you. So that's another way of really doing it. I take a lot of my clients through that. That's what we call the heart-mind kind of alignment, but we really center them into that, because then they hear wisdom that comes through around what they need to do, around any fears that are holding them back. Soul speaks, and they'll be able to access it. So, yeah.
Oh, I love those. So I have heard about breath work, but I've never really tapped into how it works. So that was good. So you're counting for 6 and then out for 6. I know you do it with me,
out through the mouth.
Out to out. Like that.
Yeah.
The
like
5
big side.
6 minutes.
Big side.
6 minutes.
So no, so you do maybe 3 or 4 is fine. Yeah, that's an easy way. Or you could do like this. There's other ways to go. Breathe in for the count of 4, hold it for the count of 6, breathe it out for the count of 8, hold it out. There's also that. You can do different ways. But this is the most easiest. So you go easy to remember. Breathe in as if you're pushing a boulder up the hill. So from your belly, 6.
Yeah, right from the belly.
And then
out. Yeah, real good.
You do that. You keep doing that for 3 to 4 minutes, and you'll feel probably tingling sensations. You'll feel that buzzing. Then you drop the breath into the gut. Then you'll be able to access. You can ask questions out loud or internally, and you'll hear.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great answers. All right. So this is another really good one, I think, for people that are wanting to move forward. I get this a lot as well. This comes, and again, this touches me to the core. Okay, so how do you move forward and trust yourself when you're going through a massive growth in your life, whether it's changing in your main circle, relationships, friendships, love, career, doesn't matter what, your spiritual self, whatever it is. How do you move forward and trust yourself enough as you're going through that growth? So it's trust, really. It's trusting, because you need to move forward. You want to move forward. You've made the decision you're going to move forward. But how do we trust and get to that point? Or what's your whatever you think?
So doing the inner work.
Here we go. Back to this. That's so true. Trusting yourself is really everything we just discussed.
Exactly. So it's authenticity, it's alignment, it's all of those things. It's self-love, self-belief, self-trust, it's doing the work. But I'll tell you why I said that, because what does even that mean, right? What does that even mean? So the first 7 years of our life is where we picked up conditioning. And if you're familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza or Dr. Bruce Lipton's work, I'm very aligned with his work. So that's where we pick up the conditioning, the patterns, the behaviors. And this is where our core wound or our core story comes from, right? And so from here, we've decided whatever's happened to us, and it's never ever the thing that we think it is that is causing the detriment, or whether it is in our life, okay? Then what we've done, whatever we've decided, we've made it mean something about us. That's our core story. And then we've gone the rest of our life looking for evidence as to why that's true. There it is again. There it is. There's the proof. I'm not enough. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. Yep. And so 95% of the time we're living outside operating out of our child. We're living on autopilot. That means little Rechelle, little Rosie is pulling our strings. Okay, because 95% of the time we're living off that programming. We don't even know we're living off it. It's subconscious. It's not us. We can know that we're like, I know this is going on, but it's not our fault. It's subconscious, right? Only 5% of the time are we even operating as us. And so the work here is to really look at the 95%. Not all of it's bad. There's probably about 66% of it that's the limiting beliefs and that are coming from that. And doing the work to move us out of that unconscious, right? Because knowing that 95% of these are our belief system, it's like a blanket. The moment we unravel them, it falls away. And so this is essentially what we do. We need to clear the structures of the mind. We don't know we have blocks. They're unconscious. That's why they are there, right?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And they will show up in symptoms like comparison, self-doubt, perfectionism, I'm not enough, all of those things, overwhelm, anxiety. These are the symptoms in the surface level of how it's really showing up. And that's how we know. And we need to go, okay, so we can see our core story, our core wound is running. Anytime that we feel any of this, if we're feeling exhausted, anything that's going on around us, that's the story. That's as literally as what it will come down to. It's literally our story. And so we need to do the work to, first of all, you can't change what you can't see, to be aware of what our story is and to really wake up us out of that mind trap, that ego trap that we've been habitually living out of. And then the moment that we do that, we rewire you for what you're wanting to do. And so this is really the deep transformational work that needs to happen from that. Does that make sense?
Totally. I mean, it's deep what you're saying. I mean, but the thing is, the work that you do, Rosie, you do cut into the core of the problem, like the childhood stuff, like as we've worked together, there's been stuff come up and you don't realize, like you said, you don't even know what's going on. I'm not a person that likes to go back. I don't. And I think there's a bit of fear there maybe, but, and I know there's a lot of people that feel that way too as well, just in general. But it can be, like you said, it's your blocks. And then you gave us the symptoms as to the things that would be coming up for you if those things have affected you. Is that what you mean by that?
Absolutely. So quite literally, every time we want to take steps toward what we want to create, every time we want to move forward, as you say, right? Every time we want to take steps toward what we want to create, all these unconscious things that have held us back will come up, right? And so it's doing both. You see what I mean? We're taking the steps forward, then we're clearing it at the base, at the root. So it's no longer going to come up at that level anymore. And every time we want to go to the next level, it's going to come up at a different level. Like this is an ongoing journey. There's no destination. This is you heal it at one level, then it will come up at another level. Does that make sense? And so,
totally.
So the work, it's not about, so you said about, I don't like going to the past. It's not about doing that. So it's about awareness. So picture it as if you're in the driver's seat, and normally like counseling, psychology, that's looking in the rear view. That's the past stuff. Okay. We're in the driver's seat and we're looking in the rear view, right? We're just glancing. We're just taking what we need to clear it, but it's not in the way and it's not stopping us from actually moving forward to our next level, right? And then driving forward or moving forward, going forward is coaching. That's where we're going. We're taking steps forward. And then the mentoring is in the present moment. And so this is where the combination is powerful. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're just taking what you need, you're clearing it, you're healing it, but you're not staying there. We don't stay there. We're seeing why it's blocking you. So I had a client yesterday as an example. He couldn't take steps toward showing up online. There was fear. And the story was, I can't do it. And he was looking outside of himself for answers, trying to see if the marketing would be the answer or if some kind of form of something will help him do it. Okay. When we got to the session, the block that was holding him back was literally from an incident that was happening. We just went to the root, we cleared it, and he felt like, I've got this, I can do it. What am I even talking about? And it was so uncanny. We don't even realize the things that are holding us back and where they come from. So this is a lot of where, we do the subconscious work. We heal you from the root, and then none of that's blocking you. You're able to take your huge rapid success and steps forward to what you're wanting to create. Yeah.
So we just keep going back to inner work. Like you said, we're healing from the root.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And you've got to, otherwise you'll only ever get it at the surface.
Yeah, so exactly.
And then it will keep coming up in other areas. Life is literally a mirror. Whatever is happening outside of us is a direct reflection of what is going on within us. And so all of this, we can use everything for our freedom. So anything that's happening in our life situation, if we're feeling dissatisfied, if we're not where we want to be, it's an opportunity for our growth. It's really going, okay, what do I need to look within me? What needs to be healed within me so that I can take those steps forward? And then we're able to do that, you know? And I think it's the combination of subconscious and the conscious and the action, the combo of that is going to be what propels us. Yeah, you can't have one without the other. It doesn't work.
No. And so just to add a little bit into that little piece, there's for someone that constantly says, but I'm just not confident to do all those things. I'm not confident, and I've never had confidence. I just want more confidence. How would you wrap that around all the questions we just sort of went through? I want more confidence to do the inner work. I want more confidence to be myself. I want more, and I know it's alignment and everything, but is there anything else we could sort of say to someone that isn't, they think they're not a confident person?
Yeah, what can we do there? Cool. So in my experience, right, the way, as soon as I strive for something, as soon as I strive for confidence, say that's what I want, the moment I try and do that, I step away from the experience of having it now. So instead of, and I'll really preface it, and I'll probably take maybe through a process for those that need that, but instead of waiting to feel confident or not wanting to feel the way you're feeling, the invitation here is to experience the lack of confidence, right? So you're not experiencing it in the mind, but you're dropping into it in the body, the sensation of it in the body. So the part of us that feels not confident, or the part of us that feels unlovable, right? And just knowing, is there a part of you that feels unlovable? So there's two types of ways to do this work. One way is to support you to be better and to be more and to improve. And the other is to question the essential misunderstanding that you're not enough. And so it's not about saying, oh, that's not true. There's a makeup in us that says it is true. And so what we need to do is take off the goggles and see it from an objective point of view. And so essentially you dropping in and feeling that lack of confidence, feeling whatever you're feeling, right? Quite literally dropping in and feeling that is the way forward, is the way through, is the way to confidence. And in that way, you're securing the insecurity. So whatever insecurities are coming up with us, within us, ourselves, we're moving that from us, right?
100%.
And we're like, I see you, you're here, and you're able to meet it from that part. Does that make sense?
Do you think 100%. Do you think confidence too also well is a lot of on trusting ourselves? Like
yes.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, so that's where it's coming from. It's the fact that we don't, and lack of authenticity, that we feel that we need to be anybody other than ourselves.
I'll give you a prime example here too, but before I jumped on this, like for everyone to hear this, before I hopped on this broadcast, because my first time the broadcast was people that dropped in just late, or whatever, who were listening on it. I was like, can we do this, Rosie? Like, well, let's do it. But did I have confidence to do it? Was I probably could have said no, but I just stepped into it and trusted that myself will flow and I will get it out, and there's nothing to lose and there's nothing to gain. I've just got to be myself and come online.
That's it.
And if I can do it, so
that's exactly it. So it's taking steps. So it's not even, so it's like, it's okay to feel the way you're feeling. It's not trying to avoid it or push it away. And you're not indulging it either. You're like, okay, you can feel that. And it's like, it's okay. It's all okay. And then it's having the courage to do it anyway. Do you know what I mean? This takes a commitment to showing up, to talking, to walking, to breathing who you really are, you know? Yeah. And that's the version of you that has stripped away the facade, the bullshit stories that are keeping you in this same place. And it's just like, okay, I'm leaning into my edges, right? I'm being comfortable with being seen for who I really am, not who I think I should be. And that's the breakthrough. Yeah.
And like you always, like yesterday in that post you did, I really love that you talked about, we're not, all the things, we're here to serve. So like, for instance, me coming on here, it's not about my hair, even though my hair looks terrible. No, but I'm just saying, like, I don't need to look at myself. It's about what I'm bringing to the people, which is the conversation.
Correct.
That's it. That's all that matters here. Like, like you said, it doesn't matter. The rest doesn't matter, Rechelle.
Yeah. Honestly, it's service. It's service. That's it. So
we get out of our own way. Hey, Rosie.
That's it. That's what it is. It's just get out of your own way, leave your story at the door, and show up in the full expression of who you are, because you are a gift. You have so much magic to share, and the world needs our gift. The world needs our leadership. The world needs, and then the world needs us right now, especially right now.
And can I just say this piece? The world needs more real conversations,
Yeah.
not the curated, as you know, that was one of my things.
Yes.
Stop curating, stop trying to perfect things, because nothing is perfect. You know, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just rolling this conversation, and we've gone on other tangents, and we're just here. And it actually doesn't take courage, because I wanted to do it, and I'm like, and here we are.
And you did it. It was like just good.
And I'm loving it. I'm seeing people dropping in and out, and I'm going, oh my God, they don't like it. That's what my head's telling me. That's the truth. I'm going to say that. I'm thinking, oh, they've dropped out, but at the end of the day, that's made it be for them.
Well, it's not even about that. So the biggest block is about criticism, or the fear of rejection, or the fear of judgment. That's right.
Actually, this is a good one.
Yeah. And people will always have something to say about you, good and bad. But when you're living your life from a place of integrity and authenticity, it's not going to mean anything for you. These words will rebound into thin air, and we'll have that certainty. It's got nothing to do with us. It's from the people, but it's not about that, and we don't even know. So it's just to go, okay, I'm here, I'm showing up, and I'm in full service, which is the most beautiful thing that you can do.
Most beautiful thing. Well, there's only one more question, and we'll do a lot of little things about you. Okay, so this one, I love you. Actually taught me this one, Rosie, and I put it into my question. So for someone that wasn't in business, we've sort of got to give two different angles, because, you know, we want to talk to. So people that have had a really, you know, they've had a tougher life than others. They've had a tougher childhood, or they've come out of some broken down marriages. They've gone bankrupt like I did in my business. They've had some real trauma happen to them. They've lost a loved one. They've just recently lost a loved one. So they're turning their mess into their strength, or turning their mess into their message online. That would be probably, so because the mess would be their strength, turn the mess into strength. I just got that one then. And then someone that was in business turned that mess into their message. I know, because you actually told me about this. So I love this one. I really love this one.
Because that's where it's at. So everything that has happened in your life it's because you've gone to your darkest and lowest that you're able to lift people to their highest, you know? And so it is really coming to the point where you can turn your mess into your message. And this is all about your magic. This is your free square. This is what you are a magician at, right? And this is what is effortless for you, and you get paid for an outcome. You get paid to be you, versus the mule, which is trying to be who you're not, working harder, trying to prove all of that, right? But the magician is your unique genius, right? And it's something you've achieved mastery of, and there's nothing more that you've achieved mastery of other than what you've gone through in your own life. This is effortless. This is what's attractive to others. This is your story. This is what gets your clients working with you, because they see where you've come from, and they're like, I'm going through the same thing. I need her help. Do you know what I mean? And everything that you've gone through has shaped you and made you into who you are today. And that's literally the message that you need to share with others. And yes, this is going to require a deep level of vulnerability to be seen for who we are, right? And many don't, because they suffer from huge visibility fears, which is another block. And that's us struggling to be seen, right? We hate marketing ourselves or appearing on social media or whatever that is. So, that's a belief that's saying we're not safe to be seen. But knowing where you've come from, being able to really stand in the position, your story, sharing your story is your gift. That's your free square. That's something that is just so effortless and seamless. And I would not be doing the work I'm doing, Rechelle, if I did not go through my mess and I went to the darkest, and I went through my dark night of the soul, and I went through a huge awakening, and I would not be able to guide anybody to the level that I am able to if I had not gone there. You're only able to really heal others at the level that we've healed ourselves. And so all of this is a gift. All of life is a gift. So,
I love that. That's so beautiful. And that just answered our last question, but I'm going to talk about you now. That was amazing, Rosie.
Thanks,
Thank
honey.
you so much. It's like I need to go back and watch all those answers, listen to all those answers, because They were just amazing.
Cool.
Holy shit, we're going to make some good stuff out of that. Okay, so what doesn't the viewers know about you, Rosie?
Oh,
what don't we know about you? Something quirky, something different, or, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, cool. This is fun. Okay, so, well, I play the piano and the flute.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah, when I was 16, I wrote a romance novella. I mean, really, I know I was a massive romance junkie back in the day.
I love that.
Yeah.
That actually surprises me. It's funny how we put people in. Yeah.
I love the old-fashioned. So when I was 16, I was into the old-fashioned kind of romance. It was really,
Like the hold the hand, open a car door.
Yeah, we're talking like 1800s, that kind of, anyway, the earlier years sort of thing, like being all single, going to the mountains of Canada in a wood cabin and some hunk coming.
Wow.
So I actually wrote a little book around that. Okay. But yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
Sweet 16, honey. Yeah.
All right. Your favorite book right now, or maybe your favorite book of everything we just spoke about, what would be the book
the
New
Earth.
Just had?
Hands down, The New Earth, Eckhart Tolle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm.
I've had that book for years and I've never read it. I'd like to read it now.
Yeah, you can read it once and then you'll get it at a level, and I think I've read it like 30 times. So.
Oh my Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of books I need to start reading. Okay. Favorite podcast or YouTube channel, or something that, really helped you on your journey with all these, relating back to the questions that we sort of went through, with intuition, living unapologetically, helped out, like maybe a bit around that.
Yeah. So there's Luna Lover, which is with Kate. Oh, you might know her.
What's her name?
Luna Lover. That's the name of the podcast. Really, really cool. But she's into the intuition and the energetics, and really powerful. I think as a big kind of the famous or the inspired sort of stuff, I love Super Soul Sunday. You cannot go past Oprah. You really can't. Super Soul.
Where do you?
So
she's Super Soul. Is it on the podcast still?
Yeah. So every week,
new one,
and she has
new one.
Yeah, all the time. So she's got Michelle Obama. She's got like the big guns, and they are so inspirational. Yeah. So get stuck into.
Remember our Super Soul Sunday used to be on every Sunday morning. I love Sunday morning with a pot of tea. I used to literally get the pot because I love pots of tea. I don't just like the cups. I like to do the old fashioned. That's my little old cause. But and I used to love it. But then I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so she's on podcast. So yeah.
Okay, so now that's great. Who inspires you right now, like online? Like who's really inspiring you right now? Someone that's driving you through your magic?
My clients.
Oh, that's so special. That's beautiful.
Because they're doing the work, and then I get to see them show up as the lighthouses that they are. They're like such powerhouses, and then they just rise, and I'm seeing them going, oh my God, sold out programs, like everything. So I love it.
Wow. Yeah. All right, I'm lucky but not last. Like, tell us a little bit about how people can connect with you. If you want to talk a little bit about your services, whatever, like where are you, most active? Is it Facebook, Lives? I don't know, whatever you have going on that you can help people with.
So I've got Happiness Lifestyle with Rosie through my Facebook page. That's my business page there. Instagram, Rosie Chehade _coach. That's my handle there. If you guys want to follow me there. Everything basically is the home. My online home is happinesslifestyle.com.au. And I do have so I've got my Rise and Thrive, which is a mastermind for women in leadership that I run. I've got one-on-one services as well. And my book Phoenix is coming out next week. I'm so excited.
Wow.
It's going to be amazing. Yeah.
So you've written it. It's all getting released next week.
Well, this is literally going to be. It's a collaboration. So this is the Phoenix. So it's literally, talk about message, turning your mess into your message. Literally that. rising from the ashes to find purpose. So your audience will love it.
Wow.
Yeah, and meaning. Which
wow.
Is, yeah.
Okay, so where can they order that book?
So that's coming out on the 22nd. That will be released. So just you'll see it. I'll be announcing it all on next Friday. I think that's next Friday.
Yep.
Yeah. So when it gets launched, it will be revealed. So yeah.
And if people want to just to make sure that's clear. So when I first worked with you, when I first wanted to have a little clarity call with you, we jumped on a call and we just met each other.
Yeah.
And you gave a lot of value on a clarity, like you gave a lot of value for, it was like an hour. Like, I'm not saying that that's what you commonly do, but you can actually book in with you on that, can't you, Rosie?
Yeah, so absolutely. So that's available as well. So if I'm happy to open that for your audience as well. If there's anybody that needs clarity, if anybody feels like they're going through anything or have any specific blocks that they would like to work through, jump on the call. You can email me directly at rosie@happinesslifestyle.com.au or the website. Just go in there and fill out there's an application form that allows you to, and we can go from there. We can take it from there.
It's really good. You're amazing. That was good. So I'm taking my personal element. That was sensational. Thank you so much. We had people dropping in lots, didn't we? It was amazing.
Awesome.
So thank you, everybody that watched and has listened right to the end. We did it. We got there. We did this first broadcast. So if you're still listening, this is my very first. And how amazing with the Rosie. How incredible. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Hang on.